hours, the city of Detroit will hand off the NFL draft to Wisconsin and Green Bay with a ceremonial football. Emerson Lehman is live in Milwaukee this morning on the shores of Lake Michigan with more on all the excitement. Good morning, Emerson.
Hey, good morning, Tammy, from a very windy, misty Milwaukee shoreline this morning. The Lake Express Ferry, it is already on its way across Lake Michigan to Muskegon, Michigan to pick up a very special delivery, the ceremonial NFL draft football. It's going to be like a passing of the torch, so to speak, from Detroit to Wisconsin. Detroit had an incredible turnout for this year's draft, over 700,000 attendees. The football expected to land here on the Wisconsin shoreline just before noon today to begin its Wisconsin journey in a part of the state that has a lot of pro football history. Early NFL teams were located in Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha, and in 1939, Milwaukee hosted the NFL draft. The Packers even playing a portion of their schedule here in Milwaukee from 1933 to 1994. Now, of course, once the football lands here in Milwaukee, it has to make its way up to Lambeau Field and Titletown to really kick off the NFL draft for 2025 here in Green Bay. So Emily Roberts live at Lambeau Field with more on the unique transportation it will have up there.
Thank you, Emerson. People are lacing up their shoes and filling up their water bottles this morning. A group of cyclists are in charge of getting the football from Milwaukee to Lambeau safe and sound. That group includes riders from the Packers, Travel Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Bike Fed, and Green Bay area bike shops. So who knows, maybe some of your favorite players are making that journey. The Packers say the cyclists are pedaling past a few key landmarks along the way, and the goal is really highlighting our state's stunning trails and our activities outdoors. Then this is pretty cool. You'll want to hear this. The kiddos can join in. The team hopes children dress up in their best green and gold, but keep those cheese hats at home so you can wear a helmet. Packers leaders say kids should be ready to go with their bikes at the Armed Forces Drive entrance to Reinitschke Field at 6 sharp tonight. Once the rest of the bikers get there with the special football, kids follow along as the group rides across the street and into the Lambeau Field atrium. But of course, the grown-ups are not left out here. Anyone can watch the unveiling of the official 2025 NFL Draft countdown clock in the atrium at about 6:30. That's when the riders finish their big journey. Good luck to anyone pedaling this morning. Live outside Lambeau Field, Emily Roberts, Action 2 News.